Deontay Wilder is done, washed, finito. Did you watch him fight Zhilei Zhang? Absolutely horrible performance. He looked scared, he looked timid, and when he finally let his hands go, he got caught and knocked out completely cold. Just pitiful. And look, I don't want to sit here and poo-poo on Deontay Wilder the entire time because his legacy, fantastic. The hardest hitter the sport has ever seen. But when it's time to hang him up, it is time to hang him up. You don't want to go out there looking like Muhammad Ali versus Larry Holmes. Just a absolute horrible performance from not Tyson Fury, from Deontay Wilder. Those two are so intertwined in my head. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Yeah, so he lost to Zhilei Zhang, the Chinese late career resurgence Zhilei Zhang, and man, there's nothing left for him. He looked horrible against Joseph Parker. You know, he looked bad against Tyson Fury in the last one, even though he'd managed to knock down Tyson Fury. But that was in 2021, the last time they fought. He comes back 2022, knocks out Robert Helinius in the first round. Sure, at almost 3 minutes, you know, great. That's a fantastic win. But, like, Joseph Parker worked him over. He kept Deontay Wilder on the back foot, kept putting him in the corner, and kept beating him up. Zhilei Zhang did the same thing. Kept putting him in the corner, and Zhang does not put off as much offense as Joseph Parker does. Like, Parker doesn't put off a lot of offense, but like on the broadcast they're saying Zhilei Zhang is like the worst, or the third from worst, or second from worst, or something. Him and Wilder both don't put out a lot of punches. That fight didn't look like it. Deontay Wilder, he seems to have just lost his aura of invincibility, broken by Tyson Fury, and further just decimated by Joseph Parker and now Zhang. Just a horrible performance, man. And it sucks because, like, going into the Tyson Fury fights, I'm all Deontay Wilder. Like, let's go America, right? He's got the most highest knockout percentage. Yeah, sure. But man, it's just pitiful to see him scared to throw. He's lost his jab. He doesn't club people. Like, I would be ecstatic if we got the old windmilling Deontay Wilder back. Boom. As long as we knocking people out. But he's not doing that. He changed trainers. Broke him. Just trying to change what he is. He's not an actual boxer. He's a clubber. He's a brawler. He goes in there and he puts people out. Didn't do that this fight. There's nothing you could say. Like, I don't want to see him fight Joshua. I don't want to see him fight Francis Ngannou. He's just going to get knocked out again. Is he going to, fight Joseph Parker again? No. He did mention before this, if he loses, he might have his foot out the door. He might be gone. He's got a foot out the door already. He wants to quit. Dangerous game. You made your money, Deontay Wilder. It's time to quit. It's weird, right? To have to say that, but there's nothing else to say. He just fought terribly. Fought just bad. And it stinks to see some of the fighters that you really enjoy, like, go this way. Like, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see Muhammad Ali and Larry Holmes. I don't want to see Mike Tyson get beat up. I don't want to see Deontay Wilder get knocked out. And he did. He got knocked out. Zhang, however, making one of the best late career resurgences since George Foreman. I won't say since George Foreman, but, you know, he's 41 years old. Power's obviously the last thing to go, but he's got a 27-2-1 record. His two losses come to Philip Hrgovic, a 12-round decision, who we'll be talking about later, and then Joseph Parker, a majority decision. But Joe Joyce, he beat twice. Just de-hype trained him. Lost to Parker, and then now he beat Deontay Wilder. And he's going to get a big boost in the rankings. And BoxRec already has him at number 8. He's one of the best heavyweights in the world. And, like, he's just this old, crafty guy. It's kind of like Povetkin back in the gap. I say back in the gap. Povetkin hadn't been retired that long. But think about it. You got Usyk at the top. Joshua. You got Tyson Fury. Daniel Dubois, who won this weekend. You got Joseph Parker with a belt. You could rematch Parker and Zhang, and I'd be ecstatic to see that. Hrgovic and Zhang, you can rematch, and I'd be excited to see that because, man, Zhang is just fighting great right now, and the knockout was beautiful. So Zhang is I can't remember if he's a southpaw or not. Hold on, let me look that up, guys, before I start giving y'all wrong information. Yeah, he's a southpaw. Okay, Zhang's a southpaw, so his right hand is forward this entire time. And Deontay Wilder is an orthodox fighter. He's just winging in punches. But what I'm seeing is Zhang's coming with that check hook, and he's hitting Wilder with it. He's coming close to hitting Wilder with it. And eventually he was going to catch Deontay Wilder with it. And he did. He caught Wilder, spun Wilder around, and Wilder's like looking at the ref like there's something. I don't know if he thought it was a to the back of the head or whatever. Zhang catches him with another one as his back's turned. You got to protect yourself at all times. Deontay Wilder didn't do that. Zhang did what he was supposed to do. Went and got the knockout. So, great win for Zhang. Like, Deontay Wilder's just done, though, man. Like, there's nothing left he has to give this sport. I don't want to see him MMA. I don't want to see him bare knuckle. Zhang, he's got some good fights ahead of him. He can go and fight Joshua. Wouldn't be all that bad, right? So, yeah. This was supposed to be Bivol versus Bitterbiev, and to have this fight, this depressing fight of Deontay Wilder and Zhilei Zhang at the top of it, kind of takes the fun out of it for me. But hey, such is life. Bitterbiev's like 40 years old almost, so what do you expect from an old man that has ungodly power? Oh boy. So yeah, Dirty. Getting my words mixed up here. Dirty Daniel Dubois took on Filip Hrgovic. Hrgovic was the IBF mandatory for Alexander Usyk, and Dubois may have saved him from being stripped from the undisputed status, right? So IBF was like, hey, after this, we're stripping him. And yeah. Thank God they didn't, right? Because then you'd have Daniel Dubois as a champion again. And granted, he looked better than he did in the first Usyk fight. He's also a big cheater. Well, more on that in a second here. He was bruising up the Croatian prospect. Like, everybody's so hyped on Filip Hrgovic, and I'm like, he's good. He throws a good 1-2. He's fast. He's not super out of shape, so, he passes the eye test for a good heavyweight. But is he? Didn't look like it, right? He got beat up by Daniel Dubois, who's only 26 years old. How old is Filip Hrgovic? Let me see. Pull up. Come on. 32. Jeez. Why has this prospect been ranked like this? So, Daniel Dubois won the interim IBF title. Hrgovic was the mandatory. And guess what? Daniel Dubois is not getting that mandatory status yet. I think they'll make the Daniel Dubois rematch. I mean, there's some controversy with him and Usyk. If Usyk beats Fury again, that is. There's some controversy with him. I can see it happening. And it wouldn't be bad. But I don't think they'll strip Alexander Usyk over this. So Dubois, who got... people say he got cheated by Alexander Usyk. It was a low blow. He threw that hook to the body below the belt. That was a low blow. And we saw in this fight, Daniel Dubois is dirty. Very, very dirty fighter. He was hitting below the belt on Filip Hrgovic a couple times. Really what drove me nuts was the amount of headbutts. I counted 7 for sure headbutts. There's probably half a dozen more in there. Didn't like this. Dubois clubbed him. He was landing punches, and the headbutts made a little bit of difference, but not headbutting would not have changed this fight at all. But Dubois, being the shorter fighter, is coming up, and he's literally pushing his head into the jaw of Filip Hrgovic. Just completely dirty. I got no love for that. I hope he fights Usyk again. I hope Usyk beats the daylights out of him, because that's just not the kind of fighting you want to see in boxing. And we saw that with Evander Holyfield, who had to do that with Mike Tyson. I mean, Mike Tyson bit his ear off for that. I'm not saying Hrgovic should have bit off Daniel Dubois' ear, but the ref who warned about the back of the headbutts a couple times didn't call it at the second half of this fight. Just ugly from Dubois. And he got the 8th round knockout. Great. I'm happy for him. But I don't care if he wins nothing ever again. Let him forever be an interim champion. Because that kind of a performance, That ain't it, Chief. Last but not least, well, kind of last but not least, Dmitry Bivol, who was supposed to be the man of the hour, and he was the best fighter on the card by far. He took on Malik Zinad and had his WBA light heavyweight title and the IBO. I did not know that. Huh. Weird. IBO don't matter. But anyways, they had all of that. He was supposed to fight Artur Beterbiev. He did not. Now, Bivol hadn't had a knockout in 6 years. Malik Zinad, he fought well off the jab in the first round. And then Bivol started making that adjustment. Like, hey, look, I got this high guard. Boom. Now I'm going to get you. And we know Bivol has a good 1-2. And that's usually all he has. Now, against Zinad, he really showed other good things in his arsenal. Good uppercut, good hooks, good, like, he would lead hand. He's hooking and then he's jabbing, or he's jabbing and off the hook. He's mixed up his shots well. And it showed because Bivol, who doesn't get knockouts, he's a decision machine. His last knockout was in 2018, so not even this decade. His last showing against Lyndon Arthur was not very good. This, fantastic showing. Obviously, Malik Zinad's not a great boxer. Better than what a lot of people thought. But by the time the 6th round came, he started really beating up Zinad. And it was just like, you know, this isn't it. He knocked Zinad down in the first round after that great round from Malik Zinad. But then Dmitry Bivol just kind of took over. He was finding his shots. He figured the range out really quick, kind of like he did against Canelo Alvarez. And then he put him down. Left hook to the head in the first round, and then just kind of started pouring it on in round 6. So good win for Bivol. I really was hoping that we would have had that Beterbiev fight for the undisputed light heavyweight title, but guess what? We're getting that in October, I believe is what they said. They rescheduled the fight. Beterbiev had a torn meniscus in his knee, so hopefully he heals up fine and we get the fight we deserve. I lean Dmitry Bivol in that fight, and a lot of people say, wow, really? I like the youth, and I like the straight punching that he has. Obviously, getting punched on the guard like he did against Malik Zinad is not going to work for him, but yeah. Decent card for this event. I mean, there was a lot of good names on this card, so I wasn't opposed to it. Just the whole missing Artur Beterbiev kind of just stunk up the joint. Daniel Dubois headbutting people. You know I'm a big headbutt guy. I love me some headbutts, even if they are legal. You know, I did kind of badmouth them about that, but headbutts are cool when they're legal, like Lithway and early MMA days. I talk about it in this video actually, where we talk about the proper way to set up a headbutt and do all that. So if you're really wanting to get crazy and out of the boxing world, this is the best video for you.